What is up, guys? This is Tcg Sam here, and in today's video I'm coming at you guys with a kind of a different tier list style video. So in this tier list I'm going to be giving my opinions on some of these trap cards and some of their uses in different types of formats. But before we begin, I just want to ask you guys to please remember, if you haven't already, leave a like, comment, subscribe, because it really helps the channel out and I really appreciate it. But with that being said, let's just hop straight into it. So the first card is Paleozoic Ganomiscus. So this card, for those of you who don't know, it's a very good kind of neg 1 removal card, but the good thing about it is that it gets value from banishing your opponent's card. It can get you more value from discarding your own cards, and of course it comes back as a monster later on if you use another trap card. I think honestly this card is good in any format, and the reason is because it can remove monsters, or it can remove face-up spells or traps, just getting you a lot of value for it. And if the deck can handle the discard cost for it, then it's really powerful, because banishing cards is a lot better than sending them to the graveyard. Next card is Evenly Matched. Evenly Matched is obviously very good for clearing out your opponent's boards. Like, you're just pretty much any board your opponent sets up, as long as they don't have like straight up negates for it. But the keyword there is as long as your opponent doesn't have any negates for it. So most of the time against a combo deck, they're gonna have negations to negate your spells and traps, spell and trap removal, like lightning storm, stuff like that. So for that reason, I feel like it can definitely work in certain combo formats where the combo boards don't put up spell and trap negates, but mostly I would say it's very good in a back row heavy format, where you can clear up to 3 or 4, even 5 of your opponent's back row, just putting you so far ahead if they don't have a card like Solemn Judgement. Next card, Heavy Storm Duster. I think it's quite obvious this one is very good in a back row heavy format. Even combo decks can play it. Going first, you can destroy 2 of your opponent's traps in the end phase. Traps your opponent could have used to break your board, like, I don't know, Torrential Solemn Strike, for example. This just clears them out. It's very good in control mirrors. Just the fact that it's a +1 is really important, because it just gets you so much. It just gets you so much value if you're playing a strong resource game. So yeah, I feel like the Heavy Storm Duster is really powerful. Next up, Ice Dragon's Prison. Ice Dragon's Prison, you remove cards from the graveyard and 1 card on the field, so it's really powerful against a lot of decks that like to put monsters in their graveyard. But it also has applications against even a control deck like Eldritch. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in any format. And the reason I think that is because even control decks are going to have to be playing some monsters, and against a control deck it might be even more devastating, because you might be able to stop their singular monster that they're trying to use to attack you for game, while they're setting up a bunch of their trap cards. Like, for example, against Ultrageist, if they just have like a Hextia, they link it to Hextia, and then before they put something under Hextia, you activate Ice Dragon's Prison, take out one of the resources in the graveyard, and you take out the Hextia. It could potentially be huge for them because they commit a lot to that singular monster. So that's why I think that it is a really powerful card that can be used in any format. Next up is Infinite Impermanence. Same reasoning as Ice Dragon's Prison. All decks are going to have strong monster effects, and the fact that the negation for spells and traps also comes in handy, it's really powerful against those control decks where you can lock down back rows. But even against a combo deck, you can just set it in where a face-up continuous spell or trap is, and you also negate that for a turn or something. But that also applies to, of course, control decks where they set up a bunch of floodgates. So Infinite Impermanence is a really good hand trap, and even negates cards on the negates cards in the column. So what more can you ask for from a hand trap? So I think this honestly is really good in any format. Next up is Imperial Order. So Imperial Order, very simple, just negates all effects of spells on the field. So against a very spell heavy deck, I would say it's really good. But the thing is, most spell heavy decks are going to be obviously Sky Strikers were a control deck that was spell heavy, but I think they were kind of an exception, because most control decks nowadays rely on hand traps and actual trap cards, meaning they're not going to be playing many spells other than maybe draw spells like Extravagance or Desires or something. And while hitting those can be really good, I feel like more of the time actually it's pretty decent against combo as well. It's decent against combo because a lot of their extenders come in the form of spell cards. So I feel like in a combo heavy format, it's really good, because you just stop your opponent's it's good in any. I would say it's good in any format because just even trading 1 for 1 with a control deck spell card like a Cosmic Cyclone or something or Pot of Desires is still really powerful. But like I would say it has a little more applications against combo decks because not only do they play draw spells like Desires, they also play a bunch of extenders and maybe even some of their starters or spell cards. So Imperial Order is really important against those. Next up, Solemn Judgment. I think Solemn Judgment is just obviously it's probably the most versatile trap card there is. The fact that it just negates pretty much anything, it negates a summon and negates a spell or trap effect. Like honestly, I think that alone just puts it in any format, and the fact that it's a counter trap means it's just super powerful. Just being able to negate anything is really good. Next up, Needle Sealing. I think this definitely the first card to fall. That would only be good in a combo heavy format for obvious reasons because like control deck's never putting up 4 monsters unless they're definitively killing you that turn. So I feel like this is obviously really good in a combo heavy format. Like the last format with Virtual Worlds and stuff like Dragon Link, Drytron, stuff that didn't really have outs to this card. A lot of combo decks, unless they put up spell or trap negates, are going to struggle with this. So for that reason, it's really good in a combo heavy format. Next up, Red Reboot. Red Reboot quite obviously is good in a backrow heavy format, even though it's at 1. But the fact that you kind of it can lock up to 5 of your opponent's spells or traps down for the turn, and the fact that you can play it from hand as a counter trap is just absolutely insane. Definitely good in a backrow heavy format. Next up, Rivalry, a Warlord / Gozen match. So this is good in a combo heavy format where control decks are trying to lock out combo decks from climbing into their bigger plays, because most combo decks nowadays, I say most combo decks are different types, different attributes, stuff like that. So being able to shut them down with a card like Rivalry Gozen is really good in a combo heavy format. Against a control deck, it's probably not that great because they can probably sit on 1 monster and play with their spells and traps. Next up, Solemn Strike. Definitely good in any format. All decks, modern decks nowadays have monster effects that they need to resolve, even if they're control decks. So Solemn Strike just being able to stop that, stopping special summon, inherent special summons, or summons that don't start a chain is really powerful as well. For that reason, I think it goes in any format. And then finally, Torrential Tribute is very good in a combo heavy format, like for the same reasons as Needle Sealing. I really don't think it's super great in a control format because when you're playing a control mirror, you probably rather have more backrow removal like Heavy Storm Duster, or just have better like 1-for-1 trades like I don't know, like Solemn Judgment or something for that. So Torrential, I just feel like it's very good against combo, but other than that, I wouldn't put it in a control format. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. It was a little different style of tier list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and that's gonna do it for me. I will see you guys soon. Take care.